Okay, folks, it has arrived. Biggest tournament of the year coming up this weekend. Just arrived to Pleasure Cove Marina here at Lake Berryessa. It is October 18th. It's Wednesday. The off-limits periods ends today for Lake Berryessa, so tomorrow, Thursday and Friday, we can begin our official pre-fish for the Yakabass TOC, which is our final season event. And as I've mentioned many times before, especially in this Yakabass series tournaments, probably since, I don't know, I want to say the third or fourth event, Angler of the Year, a goal that I didn't really have in mind at the beginning of the season, became a realistic possibility, had some really good tournament fortune, and now we're here, final tournament of the year. And of course, it will come down to this final event to determine Angler of the Year. It's a close race. Only top 50 in the AOY points get to fish this tournament, so not as big of a field. Yeah, pretty much the moment, the weekend that I've been waiting for a long time. We are here quite a bit early. I normally wouldn't pre-fish this much or spend this much time before a tournament, but obviously this one means a little bit more. So yeah, here at Pleasure Cove, just checked in. Got a few cabins for myself and the crew this weekend. Of course, the crew will be coming tomorrow, and I think Friday morning they'll trickle in as they can. And I think we're gonna do a derby, a TOC derby for the Dark Horse Division trophy, the coveted trophy, on Friday. And I'm hoping to figure something out. I came here a couple of times before it went off limits, and long story short, it was tough. I think I caught 3 or 4 keepers in the 2 days I was here. It was hot. There was a lot of small fish to weed through. Schools of small fish feeding up on these massive bait balls. It was hard to find and even catch those bigger fish. I saw some bigger fish up shallow in some grass, just couldn't get them to bite. I'm sure a lot has changed since then, so I'm gonna really utilize these next 2 days to piece together, hopefully, the puzzle, the pattern to catch some better quality fish in our 2-day tournament and just see what happens. But yeah, it is 3:44. We've got some time to kill. I think right now we'll unload the truck. Definitely packed a lot of stuff, and then maybe we'll walk around, take a look at the lake, and just kind of relax tonight. So let's get our stuff in here. Alrighty guys, well, obviously can't fish until, well, I guess technically midnight tonight, so no fishing, but do have some time to kill. Really, I actually didn't bring as much stuff as I thought. Didn't take all but, what, 10 minutes to unpack? So yeah, what I'm trying to say is I got a lot of time to waste to kill. No fishing, but why don't we kind of walk around this place a little bit. This is actually one of the places we stayed, I think 2 years ago for the same tournament, TOC. This place is legit. This is again Pleasure Cove. I actually launch here a ton, but the facilities here are pretty much unique to this place only for Lake Berryessa, to my knowledge, and I'm pretty sure this is the only location that actually has cabins and like a convenience store, its own personal launch. I mean, there's tons of slips. You can rent boats here, but one of a kind for Lake Berryessa. So that's pretty neat, and always happy to stay here. Figured with 5 or 6 of us needing to charge batteries and fight over 1 or 2 outlets at an RV site or a campsite, that wouldn't be very efficient. So always good to come here and have the electrical hookups. It's going to be hot at least the next couple of days, so have some AC and just sleep a little bit more comfortably than in the truck. But cool little place. I think everything's closing up for now, and you can see right here's the boat launch, convenience store. Water's definitely a little bit higher than the last couple of years. Go, some stairs. Oh, that's that's legit. That's a legit warning. My gosh, it's steep. Don't take a tumble around here. Ugh. It's a good little drop right there. All right, we made it to the water's edge. Well, during that little hike, I was looking at the water, peering over. I did not see one single fish bust bait or really any sign of life. Just wanted to kind of get closer and take a look at the water down here. Yeah, there's bait up here. Can't really see too far into the water. It's a pretty good drop off as far as depth goes here. And definitely some bait up on the bank though. Unless those are little frogs. Oh yeah, I think they're little frogs. One bait I did not bring to this lake is a frog. but that's okay. Huh. Well, at least got to take a look at the water. Haven't seen any bass yet, but not really that surprising. Unfortunately, the place we're staying, this launch area, is not where I think I'll be pre-fishing tomorrow. I think I'm actually gonna go all the way up north tomorrow, across the lake, and our last time out before it went off limits, found an area with a lot of grass, some pretty good largemouths, just couldn't get them to bite. So I think I gotta go check it and see if I can trick one or two, or try to figure out how to trick one of those fish, if they're still there, that is, because those were good fish. All largemouth, all shallow. Seemed to be when the day warmed up, they'd do that, they'd get up shallow. Yeah, I don't know. Of course, as always for tournaments, there's gonna be a major curveball or a major weather change. I think tomorrow we're gonna get a high of 96. I think it's gonna be another 90-degree day on Friday, and then come tournament time, we got a 20-degree temperature swing for the high. So it's only going to get into the low 70s on Saturday and Sunday, and I think last time I checked, we're supposed to get rain on Sunday. This is going to be interesting as always, just more so because Berryessa, and I'm sure if any of you guys have watched me fish this place in the last couple of years, I'm always, I want to say complaining, but I'm always emphasizing on how difficult this fishery is, especially this time of year, because there is a lot of offshore fish, a lot of suspended fish, bait chasing fish, and you really just got to get lucky and find those schools. And even if you do find those schools, staying on them is a whole other thing. So catching shallower fish, though it might not be the most predominant game plan, or at least strategy, if I can figure out how to catch some shallow fish doing something I'm confident in, that would be a dream. I guess depending on how tomorrow goes, we'll figure out where we're pre-fishing on Friday. If it's a stinker tomorrow all the way up north, maybe on Friday we'll try down here. I want to fish so bad right now, so want to make a cast, throw top water out there, anything really. It's killing me, but gotta wait till tomorrow. Let's make the journey back, get back to the cabin. Alrighty, cheers to the next 4 days of fishing Lake Berryessa like a madman. I figured while I have some time, I'd show you guys what we have rigged up for tomorrow. It's actually at first I brought 11 rods with me. Boat only has 10 rod holders though, so I'll have to leave one behind, but I've been doing my homework, been getting ready really the past week. Few hours every night, just getting baits ready, getting things dialed. You saw all those big Plano bins that I brought in. Got extra baits of literally everything possible. The last thing you want to find yourself with is a situation where a certain bait or a certain color is really working and you don't have anything else. Plus, I don't think there's a tackle shop within an hour and a half of here. Yeah, I really just wanted to make sure I was absolutely prepared. I mean, I've got extra terminal, I've got extra line, and it was kind of interesting. I feel like throughout the entire week of getting ready, a lot of these baits were kind of thought up in my mind of possible situations, possible scenarios where I might need a certain bait or a certain technique. That is the tricky part with this lake. I mean, it's a pretty diverse fishery. Just this past evening, you guys saw it's got some grass on the bank. Of course, it's got some steep rock, some points. As I mentioned, offshore suspended fish. It is literally a place, especially this time of year, where you could catch them in maybe 2 foot and also 120 foot. Anyway, let's just go through what I've got rigged up for tomorrow. And these are in no particular order, but predominant forage here. Little shad bait. There's a lot of bait fish in this lake, about that size actually, just pretty much that exact same color. So this is jerk bait. This is a deeper diving jerk bait, a super deep diving jerk bait. This one gets down to like 25 foot. So one thing I also wanted to consider with practice was keeping an open mind. I mean, of course I'm gonna throw baits I'm comfortable with, confident in, but to have a few other techniques or a few other presentations that I can experiment with just in case, and maybe get a little bit out of my comfort zone if I need to. Really deep diving jerk bait, something I don't throw a lot of, so I got one on deck for tomorrow. Next bait we got here is a crankbait. This is the new Berkeley Dime 6. This is the one we did our damage at Clear Lake with. A little bit different color, a little bit more natural, translucent color. Water's a little cleaner up here. If they're chasing bait and they're willing to eat a crankbait, I would not mind getting on a crankbait bite. Now this was the bait that I did a lot of damage with last time we were here before it went off limits, catching a lot of small fish, but this was the bait overall that they wanted the most. It was just the one they were reacting to, the one they were eating really good, even though there were a lot of small fish. Did catch a couple of keepers with it, but just a tiny little spoon. Again, these fish getting schooled up, chasing bait this time of year. Find a big wad of them, you drop a spoon down in them. I found that to be very useful last time we were here, so we'll definitely see if it's a player tomorrow. I don't know if this will come into play, but if we get a little bit of wind, we get some cloud cover, which might happen on Sunday, we've got the A-rig. So as I've talked about before, for California, 3 hooks. So we've got 2 teasers up top. These are little 3-inch swim baits. Then we've got 3.8s on the bottom. And then in the middle, another 3-inch swim bait, but a little bit different color, something they can target or key in on. That's the idea at least. A-rig is going to be on deck. I don't think I really got a single keeper bite for sure, but maybe only a couple of small fish on a topwater last time. Just got to have it, because this could be one of those situations where you need a Hail Mary, you need a big fish. It could happen on a topwater here. Actually, my PB spot, unofficially, was from Lake Berryessa on this particular bait in the fall. You can't not have a topwater. One thing I did change with the topwater rod and reel, which you probably saw in the past couple of videos, is we went to a P-line mono, or copolymer it might be, but it's specifically made for topwater. A little more stealth. These fish up here can be real shy, real finicky, and if they see that big braid that we typically use with topwater, I don't know, maybe they'll be turned off. So went to a different line, and that's actually something I also spent some of those nights doing with a lot of my rods. It's a tedious process, but just in case it makes a difference between literally a fish or 2, it's changing my line. I downsized a lot of my line. I went down from line that I'd usually use 15 down to 12 and 10, line that typically would be 10 or 12 pound down to 8 and 6 pound, but really downsized my line. It's those little details in fishing, and especially tournament fishing, that maybe it makes a difference between a bite or 2, getting a fish to commit or not, but at the end of the day, that one fish, that one bite could be the difference in a tournament, in a placing, and potentially angler of the year. Geez, I hope I didn't just jinx myself for something silly, crazy to happen. A bait that I have that is one of the few baits that I only have had success here with, but had a lot of success, especially when they're keyed in on those little bait fish, was a flicker shad, a little jointed jerk bait. I don't know, could be one of those X Factor baits, but I have it just in case. And I also have this rod designed for tiny little spy baits. So I don't know. I know I'm getting kind of crazy with some of these baits here, but I just wanted to be prepared. I mean, hopefully I'm not overthinking or over preparing. I don't think you can over prepare. I think you can overthink, but I don't think you can over prepare for a tournament. But I definitely spent the most time preparing for this tournament than I have in many tournaments. Next bait, and actually one of the baits that was probably the second most productive of our last trips here, was just a little underspin. Profile matters here. This is a smaller size underspin, of course, smaller blade, 3-inch swim bait. They were eating this thing pretty good, especially when we found the fish. Granted, there were small fish around the grass. This seemed to do a lot better in the shallower grass versus the spoon, which was for more deeper suspended fish. Next bait, and one I'm surprised I didn't get a single bite on last time, because it seems to be a staple at Lake Berryessa just about year round, but didn't get a bite, was a jig. A little finesse jig, green pumpkin, little crawfish trailer on the back, got different style crawfish trailers. Yeah, gotta have it just in case. All right, we're getting there. 5-inch weightless worm. A lot of my prep, a lot of the baits that I was thinking about were specifically for those big largemouth up shallow. Cruising the grass, paid me no mind, didn't even get one to bite, but they were there. So one thing I didn't try was a weightless worm, so have that as well. We can go over this one quickly, but we've got a drop shot. Always got to have a drop shot here. And last, certainly not least, is what I call our other fish finder, jokingly. And that really is just because it is what it is. This bait right here, Depths 250, big glide bait. Threw it last time, had a monster follow it, had a few other followers. You throw it in areas where you don't think there's any life or you don't get a bite. You toss that in there, reel it back, and you see all these fish follow. Bigger fish too, and it's like, man, that's crazy. So point is, I've got this, not necessarily, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'd love to get a bite on this. I'd love to catch a fish on it, but I've got it more so for tomorrow and Friday in practice to see if I can draw some fish, to see if there's some quality in the area. So that's it. I think that was all 11 rods. Probably ditch the drop shot rod tomorrow. And if I need a drop shot setup, I've got other spinning set up to double as a drop shot setup. But those are the rods. I don't know, guys. This is going to be interesting. Very interesting. Alright, we made it, guys. Across the lake. It took us about 45 minutes. And again, this is the side that is a lot more tapered bank, more grass, and where we saw some pretty good largemouth at least 2 weeks ago. So I figured we'd jam over here first, see if we can catch some of these fish, figure out a pattern, a bite, hopefully. and go from there. Got a little one. That was the story 2 weeks ago. I was kind of wondering if there'd be a bunch of little ones still active and schooled up. I mean, yeah. I think that's our answer right there. They're eating a crankbait though, that's kind of cool. That was the trouble. You find these massive wads of fish that were just all the same size. You can see right here what we're fishing. Last time, granted this wasn't the spot, we were a little further north, but those bigger largemouth were kind of hanging on outer grass lines, some of the deeper grass. And then all the shallow ones would be dinks. I mean, there were dinks that were offshore too, but the bigger fish that I saw were a little bit deeper, just kind of cruising around. There's another little one. I mean, it's fun, don't get me wrong. It's fun catching them, but can't catch these in the tournament. I can even see those little ones underneath the boat right here. You can see them. And they're just schooling right there. Man, I still cannot believe how many small fish are in the mix here. Like, it's like they took over. All the big ones are... All the big ones like shrunk or something. You know, and I don't even need a crankbait to catch them. Catch them with a little underspin too. Look at them below us. Right in the school. Oh my gosh. They're eating too. That could be a good thing and a bad thing, because the bad part is they're just going to get it before any of those big ones get it. Just a little side note. Changed my setup for the spoon. Went braid to a fluoroliter with a double swivel, basically. Try to prevent, I mean, maybe it'll work better, but my spoon was getting fouled up a whole ton. And I thought this extra double barrel swivel would help reduce the hang-ups, but I don't know if it really does. Okay, buddy. Okay, can't do this for too long. It's not productive. I'm not gonna lie, it's still semi-fun, but it's not productive. Bumped. Maybe that wasn't a bump. That was just... Such a bummer. Man, such a bummer. Why can't you guys be bigger? Hello?
I got hella bad FOMO already.
I know, Michael. You're missing.
How's it going? What's it like? What's the water temp? Is it clear? Is it warm? Is it cold? Is it windy? Is it beautiful? Are they busting on bait? What's going on?
Well, you're going to catch a million fish, but they're all going to be about 6 to 10 inches.
Oh God, please don't say that.
Yeah, I'm unhooking one right now.
Oh my God.
It's the same thing as last time I was here. There's just so many small ones.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
What is this deal with 11-inch fish this year?
I could not tell you, to be honest, but we're going to have some great fisheries in about 2 years.
Oh my God. Just gotta find the big one.
Yep. So when you're going to Adam Sandler tonight?
Yeah.
Well, that'll be fun.
Yeah, I bought tickets for Autumn's birthday like 2 months ago, so we gotta go. We're way far back, dude. They're $300 for 2 tickets.
Oh my God. Well, I think we're gonna do the derby with the cameras, so I'll leave your camera bag at like the cabin or something.
Yeah, let's do that. If we get out if we get out at 11, I'll leave at 11. It's like a 4-hour drive there.
Yeah, we'll miss you in the intro tonight. It'll be weird without you, and I don't think Bam's coming either.
I know, that sucks, because isn't Bam in contention?
Bam is in contention. Oh man, there's crazy carp jumping everywhere too. Every small fish is in like 10 foot or less. I went to Puda and I just crossed over, and I mean, I've been everywhere though. It's like this everywhere on the lake, I think.
The whole lake's filled with rats.
Yeah, massive schools. It's pretty crazy.
So you just straight launched the Buddha?
I just launched a Puda and just went right across.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, Buddha, just because I know it better than anywhere else. So I could figure I could probably scratch it on there.
I don't know. I might have to go fishing deeper to try to catch keepers. Except I found deep fish too, and they're all the same size.
Dude, that's crazy.
Maybe they're in Pleasure Cove. Maybe they're back there. I have no idea. I might have to check it later today if this isn't happening over here.
Might as well launch twice. Screw it.
Oh yeah, I got time. It's gonna be a long day of fishing.
Figure something out. You're supposed to win.
Dude, it's gonna be close. I have to catch them.
Yeah.
There's no chance that I can win this without catching them. I gotta do good.
Gotta find them and catch them, dude. If you find them in a cove, I'll forfeit my day and block the cove for you.
No. Dude, that rarely happens. It's like, I think it's gonna be covered.
It's happened to you at least 10 times. Very.
Well, I mean, if it happens here, I'd be okay with it, but I don't know. You saw the forecast?
Yeah, someone said it's supposed to drop like 50 degrees or something.
Well, it's going to be in the 90s today and tomorrow, and then it's only going to hit like 72 on Saturday and Sunday, and it's supposed to rain on Sunday.
I don't know, that could change things.
I know, that's kind of why I'm a little nervous about anything I potentially find today or tomorrow. Like, it could totally change.
Right. Well, give me a holler later. I want another update.
All right, I'll give you a shot later.
Everybody have fun.
Later. Man, all this flooded brush and about 5 to 8 foot. You just think there'd be big ones lurking in there and crushing a spinnerbait or something, but just not how it's working. Looks good over here. I just don't know. Just need a bite, a hint, a keeper, something to tell me to keep throwing a certain bait or a certain technique or a certain depth. I'm just really surprised we can't catch a keeper out of all this really good looking shallow cover, especially because there's a ton of bait up in it too. Got one. Finally got a big one. Golly. Giant. These are the fish I was talking about that were over here. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. That's a big fish too, dude. Those are winning fish right there, guys. Those are winning fish. Man. 5 of these a day, or just a couple of these and a limit, and we're in good shape. Spinnerbait, huh? Up shallow in the grass. I knew it had to work at some point. It's just, was it fish random, or is this going to be a pattern? I think I got to throw a spinnerbait for the next hour or so. See if we can at least get another bite. Because another bite, granted it's shallow in the grass, that probably means it's a pattern. One thing that's different about this spot than the spot where we saw them a couple weeks ago, and maybe that spot's the same, but a lot dirtier down here. Up there was pretty clear. I'm pretty sure they could see me, so maybe this is just more conducive to trick them. I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. Bait up shallow. Holy smokes. Look at all that bait right there. Crazy. Normally you'd think finding that bait up shallow would be like, oh yes, that's where the fish are going to be. I mean, maybe, but there are bait everywhere in this lake. Just a swarm of it. Keeper, I think. Keeper. Oh yeah, keeper. That's keeper. That's something we'd take for sure. That's, yeah, see, it's still not even, it's keeper, but I can't get too excited about it because it's just barely a keeper. It's a 12-incher. Just admiring that massive bait ball. When he bit, that would have made me feel better if it was like another 3-4 pounder. The fact that it was just a 12-incher, I mean, granted I'd take it, but doesn't improve the confidence meter by much. Confidence in that I need to stay in this area or solidify this area as a place I need to fish on tournament day. I've yet to figure that out, so. Yeah, a couple small ones. Alrighty guys, we are getting out of here. It is about 12, almost 1 o'clock, 12:44. Yeah, just wasn't feeling it over here. And didn't really want to spend the rest of the day just kind of spinning my wheels and not fishing when I was lacking a lot of confidence in just the general locations. Rather than do that, I mean, I'm glad I caught a nice fish and then a small keeper. That's all fine, but rather than waste more time in that particular section of the lake, I figured let's pick up, let's head back to camp and actually launch right there at Pleasure Cove Marina. I mean, hopefully there are fish there, but if anything, can rule it out. Go spend, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours out there before the fellas arrive tonight, see if there's anything worth fishing, and then we'll probably make a decision either to go somewhere completely new tomorrow, or I mean, knock on wood, Pleasure Cove is good and we'll fish there tomorrow and try to expand on it. I just don't know. I don't know. I think, you know, based on today so far, that one side is kind of unique in that all pretty flat and tapered. Heading down this way now towards Pleasure Cove where we're staying, lots steeper, narrow canyons, so really looking to fish a lot deeper and go completely opposite. Got about a 35-minute drive. Yeah, still in search mode. We're good to go. Get much easier than that. Let's park right here too. Oh, I hope there's some fish here. I hope there is a pattern. I just need to figure out how to catch 5 keepers at this point. Forget big fish or winning fish. Let's figure out how to catch keepers. There's some fish right by the ramp, huh? There's some grass back here. How sweet would it be if there's just a bunch of keeper fish back here? Oh, look, those aren't bass, those are bait fish. I'm gonna have to check back here before we get off the water tonight. There's a chance it's productive back here. Okay, let's go. Got one. Yep, that's what's there. Still, these are spots though. You know what's funny? I think that's the first spot I've caught. Wait, did I catch them 2 weeks ago? I don't think so. I think they're all largemouth. I think that's our first spot. Could be wrong. How big are they? No, I thought they were bigger. I was hoping you guys were bigger down there. Oh, wow. He did it himself. I think that's actually a keeper. Oh, man. I was thinking I could write this place off. That's a keeper. Decent little spot. Yep, that's one we take. Not a giant, but a keeper. Man, there's a million of them down there. Doesn't matter though, these fish are moving fish. Doesn't matter if you find them one day. It only matters if you find them the day it counts. Also got to consider the time of day, 3:41. Tournament's over at 3 on Saturday and Sunday, so any potential bite we get on after 3 o'clock, we got to just consider the time of day. That's dependent. Oh, a good one. Oh boy, there's that school. Would you guys just like stay here for tournament day? That's all keeper fish. That's the first school of fish that I think are, ooh, dang, it got off. It's the first school of fish that I think are actually of substantial size. I think I'm gonna catch another one too. Alright, fishing right by the cabins, right by the launch. This is the very dead end of this creek arm. Definitely bait here, and I've seen some schools of little ones feeding, and clearly some birds. How magical would it be if there's a healthy population of bass, too? No way. Oh my god. That didn't take long at all. Not a giant, but oh, there was one with it too. Pretty sure there was one with it too. Okay. Now here's my question. Is this going to be reproducible? Come tournament time. Man, that is interesting. Oh, I think I just had another one shy away from it. I think I just had a follower, another follower. One more bite back here, baby. I definitely consider this area. Good one. There we go. Oh boy, there are some fish back here. Oh, it's a good one. Oh man, I was hoping not to catch him back here. Oh, it's a smallmouth. Oh boy. That's a good one right there. Man, oh man. Got a decision to make now. Shoot, I was kind of hoping that wouldn't happen, but it is also almost 5 o'clock. This is pretty much evening fishing, just before sunset. I don't know. I don't know. The one good thing about this area is there's this spot, and then just up the way was where those spots were. Keeper spots. So that's 2 positive things in one vicinity. Tomorrow for practice, I was thinking we'd try somewhere new, but now I'm thinking we might have to launch here, see what it looks like in the morning, then explore some more water in case we want to use this for tournament location. Okay, all right folks, quick update with you. It is 6:18. Yeah, the crew is arriving. Dutch just got here, checked into the other cabins just down the way. Got a couple more cabins down there, of course one here, but you can see in the background here, we've got the boat and the truck parked. Boat's actually ready to go. It's on the dynamic dolly, and you know, it's interesting. The thing that I was kind of curious about was how our backyard, or basically the launch where we're staying, would fish. I got off the water today at 12 from the northern launch up at Puda, went across the lake to see if we could trick some of those largemouth that I saw in the grass. Got one to go. It was a good one, but that was pretty much it. In the back of my mind too, I'm thinking about the weather changes. This weekend, cold front, I mean, it was in the mid 90s today. Fish were up shallow, fish were chasing. I don't think that's gonna completely die off come this weekend. That side of the lake is, I don't know, it's all the same. I mean, I threw that spinnerbait for a long time. I fished for those bigger shallow fish for quite a while. I couldn't make it happen. So anyways, we came back here at 12, went down the entire way, pretty much was a big old dud until we ran into one little school, one little area that had some spotted bass. Believe it or not, actually keeper size spotted bass. Caught a couple of those, or actually I caught one, lost the other, but that was kind of nice. And then right before I was about to head in, I said, you know what, the one area that we should check is in the very back of this creek arm, basically a dead end here where Pleasure Cove is. There's some grass. Gave it a whirl, and there was definitely activity, definitely a lot of bait, and apparently some fish. Caught, I think, you know, like 15, 16 inch largemouth on the spinnerbait. Like 2 minutes later, Ox stuck a pretty good smallmouth. So now I'm scratching my head. I mean, in my opinion, right now, 5 keepers a day would be pretty dang good. The most consistent bite, or the most areas within one launch that I've caught keepers, including today, and then even like the 2 days of pre-fish before this all went off limits, was here. Those school of spots, and then the shallow largemouth and smallmouth. So that was probably way too long of a story for what I'm trying to say, but what I'm trying to say is tomorrow for Friday, we're gonna launch here. I'm gonna see if any of those fish will go in the morning. If I get one bite, I'm out of here, and then I'm just gonna explore. Continue on with new water, see if I can find some more areas to replicate this, maybe find some more schools of fish. I don't even know, graphing, doing whatever, but I think that's my best course of action. Yeah, that is a little update on today. Definitely got some good information, and hopefully tomorrow's pre-fish is a lot more productive, and we can solidify a game plan, a pattern, a technique that we can just run with for 2 days straight of fishing for this TOC. Got a little goodie bag here with cameras and such for the fellas. I think I got a couple of beers in there too. I think I'm ready to go. We'll walk down and meet up with everyone. Yeah, we'll see. I think we're doing a derby tomorrow, a TOC derby for the trophy, which I believe Dutcher has. Hopefully he brought it. Yeah, let's head on over.